guys, we might have a pretty clear idea, or at least a good guess, as to how the Ocarina of Time remake is actually going to pan out, thanks to a potential leaked price point for the game. Now, this may not seem like a big deal for a lot of people, but the price of this game is pretty important, especially if it's on the higher end compared to the lower end. I think we can expect a lot more from this game. But what is the leaked price? Well, we're about to get into that in 1 second. First, I want to thank you guys so much for getting us so close to our goal. We are now just under 5,000 subs away until 400k. So let's see how many people we can get to like and subscribe from today's video alone. Thank you so much for your support, and also happy 4th of July for the people that are celebrating today. Alright, let's get into it. Now, allegedly, the website PlayAsia lists The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Remake at $60. Now, this is pretty much the same price point for Star Fox 64's remake. And here's an official screenshot of the posted price, sitting at around 70 euros, which translates to about $60 US. Now, it's pretty easy to jump to conclusions from this, but let's not do that yet, because PlayAsia is known for listing games way too early and also getting the prices slightly wrong. Also, this user stated that $60 is the yen conversion of the price of a Japanese game that costs $80 in the rest of the world. PlayAsia sells imported games from Japan. That's why there's a little Japanese flag in the image. Look up the price of Mario Kart World on that page. So yes, this could be an imported price since it's coming from Japan, making the price a lot different, even cheaper in a lot of the cases, as you can see with Mario Kart World. So it could very well mean that this is going to be an $80 game. But why does it matter? Well, there's different ways to look at this. You could look at it and say, well, a cheaper price is going to be good for a lot of people. You know, we want these cheaper prices, especially for remakes. But then again, you could look at it as, hey, if this is going to be a second remake of this game, I want it to be more ambitious, and $60 tells me that it's going to be just like Star Fox, where it looks really, really good and it has a couple new updates like cutscenes and stuff, but for the most part, it is a one-to-one exact copy of its original, just remade in modern graphics. Now, we've been talking a lot about this game and things that they could add, like adding new locations in Hyrule Field and even fixing the boss battles in this game, and yes, potentially even adding a dungeon or two like the Light Temple that was once cut from this game. At least to me, I think it's safe to say if this game does come out at around $60, this is going to be a one-to-one remake, just the same way Star Fox was. And don't kill me, I'm all about cheaper gaming, but I kind of hope it's 80. I think that would kind of be a testament to how ambitious this game would be. There's only 2 games right now for the Switch 2 that are priced at $80. That's already released Mario Kart World that launched with the console, and then Fire Emblem Forge's Weave coming out soon. Yeah, that's the second $80 game from Nintendo. But I think this was a good thing to see. I've seen a lot of people fear-mongering online saying, oh no, if this is $60, it is going to be an exact one-to-one remake, and a lot of people were upset about that, including myself. I was feeling kind of bummed until I saw that there's a chance that this could just be, you know, some mix-ups and stuff, and it probably still will be $80. It's just hard to say right now. We really need Nintendo to talk about this thing because there's way too much up in the air. But I think this is a good thing to happen so we can set expectations, because yeah, my expectations aren't through the roof. I'm not expecting an entire reimagining of this game, but I'm still expecting a lot. I mean, this is Nintendo's big holiday game this year, and also, it's their big 40th anniversary celebration game, and the second time they remade Ocarina of Time. Nintendo should make this a very important remake. This should be the most ambitious and most important remake Nintendo has ever made. And we've seen them add things in games like even Mario 64 DS, which added extra levels and even extra boss battles and mini games and stuff. So I'm expecting something to a similar degree, if not way more, on this game. And I think what makes this different than Star Fox is Star Fox 64 has really good gameplay that still ages really well today. All they had to do was clean up the graphics and add a couple things like cutscenes in between missions to tie the story together better. And that's really all they had to do. Where Ocarina of Time, it's still a very good game, even today. I think it holds up pretty well. But there's a lot of things that just seem a little sloppy and don't make a whole lot of sense. A lot of the locations of items and stuff, like getting the ice arrows from the Gerudo training grounds, just feels strange and pointless. Over half of the bosses feel extremely underbaked and would just be an absolute cakewalk even more in today's day and age, and I can see people being very upset with them. Like, if I had to still just throw a bomb in King Dodongo's mouth or fight Morpha in any capacity that's the same that it has been, I'm gonna lose my mind. And if Hyrule Field is still extremely empty with really only Romania Ranch being out there, that also is not going to age very well in this day and age. I mean, it's going to fall victim to the same complaints that Metroid Prime 4 did with this giant open, empty desert. This was really cool at the time, but even when it was remade on a 3DS, it was feeling like very bland and open, especially if they go with really good graphics like it looks like they're going to, almost hyper-realistic graphics. They've got to put something out here. And I feel like all those things are completely reasonable. I know a lot of people are going to say, Nintendo Land, you're asking for too much. Just expect a one-to-one remake, but I'm expecting a bit more. Even if it's not going to happen, Nintendo should make this happen. This is something that we should probably expect, especially since they are charging for, yet again, another remake of Ocarina of Time. This should be the time they actually make this very ambitious. Plus, the ultimate version of this game wasn't able to happen. Like, there were other dungeons like the Ice Temple and the Light Temple planned that just couldn't happen, probably because of hardware limitations. So this is the time to finally make the ultimate version of Ocarina of Time that they've always wanted to make. Will I be a bit bummed if there isn't anything like a new Light Temple added? Of course. But would it ruin my hype for the game? Not really. As long as there's other improvements in other areas like boss battles, Hyrule Field, and maybe some extra stuff like side quests, then I am perfectly fine, believe it or not. But if this is a one-to-one remake with little to no changes, I can't lie, I will be a little upset. Even though I'm still extremely excited for the game, I will be a little upset. And once again, I think it's just the positioning of this game. This is, once again, the big holiday title of the year. This is like the biggest release Nintendo's had since like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was over a year ago. So this has to be something special in my opinion. This just following Star Fox's path and literally being yet again another 64 game brought back in the exact same way with new graphics is just not going to sit well with a lot of people. I can already see people complaining. But let's be honest, they could add a bunch of new stuff and there's still going to be a lot of people complaining that it's not a one-to-one remake. So, you know, there's going to be a side that's happy and a side that's upset with this no matter what the outcome is. But since this is a Zelda project, I have faith in the team working on this game. The Zelda team has literally only let me down one time, and that was with Tears of the Kingdom. Even though the rest of the world seemed to really like the game, it was kind of let down on me. But besides that, they are normally cooking pretty hard, and they normally have some pretty good surprises for us. This is going to be one of the first times we see a remake to this ambition though, so we'll see what the heck Nintendo and the Zelda team's cooking up and whoever's working on this game. I'm just praying Nintendo reveals this thing sooner than later, hopefully by August, so that way we can finally start talking about what's actually shown and actually start making some good educated guesses based on the content that we see. But I'm sure it's only a matter of time until we start seeing this game. But let me know in the comments down below, where do you fall on this one? Do you hope the game is $80, $60, a one-to-one remake, a remaster, a reimagining, a remake? What form would you want to see this game take? Let me know down below, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Zelda and Nintendo in general, and I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day. See you guys.